Big love to Ubisoft. Appreciate you guys for inviting me along to play an early release of Star Wars Outlaws. Let's get into it. So, I was like you. I weren't a fan of what Star Wars Outlaws is about. I weren't a fan of the main protagonist. I weren't sure if they were able to land this concept. Star Wars lore is rich. We've got Jedis, we've got Sith Lords, we've got the Force, we've got the dark side, we've got Mandalorians, we've got Chewbacca's. We've got so much different characters and things we can draw from, but we decided to take a new angle and side with a thief. Kay Vess, to be precise. Let's talk about it and I'll give you my experience on playing Star Wars Outlaws early and what I thought of the game. Where do I start? So I'll try and keep it spoiler free. I'll try and keep it diet. I'm not going to give you the full fat version or breakdown of event. That's going to be a mystery. Let's talk about Toshara. Let's talk about the world. So we know Star Wars Outlaws is the very first open world Star Wars game set between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. Toshara is very reminiscent of the Sahara, very reminiscent of like an African country like a Tanzania or like a Zimbabwe or Namibia, like a very vast tropical vibes somewhat. But in all, what I was really impressed with was just the amount of life on the land itself. Like in this world, Toshara, you've got animals running around, you've got bandits lurking around the corners, you've got merchants walking up and down, you've got so much life to experience, and it was just a really rich experience. This really felt like a next gen game. So from landing on Toshara, crash landing, because that's the way the demo started, we venture to a city called Mirogana City. So Mirogana City is basically the thief's hotbed. It's where you've got all of the main gangs that reside. And when I talk about life, Mirogana is rich in activity. Like you've got different flavors of aliens, different flavors of humans. As mentioned, you've got the different flavors of gangs. And Kay Vess as a protagonist in herself it's impressive to see her move around because she's a criminal just like everyone else. So you see how she moves amongst the criminals in the criminal underworld, who she has allegiances with. What I loved about the allegiance system is you can work with 3 gangs. So the gangs that I came across while playing the demo were the Crimson Dawn gang, the Hut Clan, and the Pike Syndicate. So I know there's more gangs that are to be included within this demo, but yeah, I won't divulge that. I won't spoil that for any of you guys. What I loved about this demo was how well the demo played. Like graphically, it's a rich, beautiful game. It stands out. It's a third-person RPG, so you've got the camera slightly closer, very similar to like that of God of War, close on the shoulder, so you're not seeing her whole body at times. It's very kind of back of the knee up that you'll see of Kay. Nyx is also a very healthy addition. At first I thought, what is this animal? And is it going to actually serve a good real-world purpose? Nyx is your ultimate utility tool. This is Kay Vess's utility for snatching items, distracting people, attacking people, and lining up your attacks on those people as well. So Nyx is a very, very vital addition within Star Wars Outlaws. One of the dopest things that I loved when exploring the world was using the speeder. So everyone knows the classic speeder from the Star Wars movies that they, traverse over land, thousands of miles using this hover bike. The speeder was amazing. It felt smooth. As you can see here in the footage, my cornering is a little bit rubbish, and I got attacked by bandits here, so I was racing away from my life. But overall, it was a very pleasant experience, and it's free. And what I found was Toshara's landmass is vast. Like, this is a very massive world. I haven't read into it too much, so I don't know how many more worlds we have available to explore when the game comes out, but just playing on Toshara, absolutely massive. And my time was limited. I only had 3 hours, but 3 hours didn't feel nowhere near enough for me to cover what I wanted to cover. Part of me deep down really wanted a Mandalorian game. I thought that may have been the next natural progression for a Star Wars game. I came to terms that we're not going to see Jedis and Sith Lords, and we're not going to use the classic lightsabers which we've always had in Star Wars games and which we recently had in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. A Mandalorian game would have made sense to me, but this feels refreshing. Again, this is the first time Star Wars have released an open world game, an open galaxy game at that, because apparently there's going to be other worlds that we will be able to explore. Piloting the ship was interesting. It wasn't inverted controls. You had the classic hyperspeed options. Aerial combat was fairly really smooth and swift, fighting a few T-fighters. What I loved graphically was when you're going through an asteroid belt and you're kind of descending through the clouds into a world's atmosphere, and then you're there within the world. So you're kind of breaking through the clouds, going down and then into the world's atmosphere. Was amazing to see and witness graphically. They really got that on point. I'm not too sure if you're actually able to upgrade your ship. Those options were limited for me. So it'll be interesting to see if they give us those options and we can just kit out our ship or even change ships. Like the aesthetic of the ship, the type of guns and blasters we have on the ship would be pretty cool. One thing I noticed as well is the combat aspect. Kay Vess is very varied. So you've got straight up fighting, you can put your dukes up and scrap it out with stormtroopers, enemies that range from thieves, street vendors, random people, you can scrap them all. She's also got her trusty blaster, which is upgradable and you can do various things there. I also did find when you knock down or stealth attack villains, they drop their guns and you can actually pick up their guns. So I came across AR type blaster and also a sniper rifle, which was interesting, but I didn't actually get to test those out. Another cool feature that Kay has is her grappling hook, which seems to come in handy when abseiling down sides of cliffs or swinging from one ledge to another, so that's a pretty handy tool as well. Overall, I think Kay Vess as a protagonist is going to surprise a lot of people. I think Star Wars may be onto something here with this open world format. It fits within the lore of Star Wars. It's very familiar because of the sound effects, the aesthetic. We're seeing the C-3POs, we're seeing the stormtroopers around, we're seeing all these different flavors of aliens we've seen over the years within Star Wars movies and TV shows. So it's like a very, very refreshing spin and take on a Star Wars game. I believe the game drops August the 30th. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in this game and making more content around this game, and I'm really looking to explore the depths of this world. Star Wars Outlaws will also be available on all platforms, PC, Xbox and PS5. Guys, I think they've got one here. Ubisoft may have one here. That was my thoughts on the game. I think we're in for a dope experience, guys. I can't lie. Catch you soon. I'm out. Peace, peace.